You persevered. Well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back because I don't even know if what I said made sense, but... Hello my loves and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of another weekly reading vlog, and this week we need to get back on track with the October TBR. If you saw last week's vlog, you'd know I kind of just took a massive tangent and went and read quite a few different short stories and things. It was great. I loved it. But I do want to get back to the October TBR and I've decided to go with Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. This is a sci-fi horror book that I've been really intrigued about. I've been wanting to read it for absolutely ages. This one was gifted to me by Naomi, so thank you so much. I'm really intrigued by this one. I did read the first 2 sentences of this last week and it was very close to be chosen as the book to read last week, but it didn't quite win. When I was editing last week's video though, I was listening to myself read those sentences again and I'm like, damn, there were some good sentences. I need to read this book. So that's what we're gonna do. Plus I've recently heard some really positive feedback from Danny and Leandra, who have both read this book and they've really enjoyed it. So I'm really intrigued. I think it's going to be a good, fun horror time. We'll see how it goes. In this one, we're following Claire. Claire's days away from being unemployed, so she's kind of desperate. And they're out in space when they find a strange distress signal. With nothing to lose and no desire to return to Earth, Claire and her team decide to investigate, and they come across this famous luxury space liner that vanished, and it's just sitting there in the solar system. Well, I suppose floating there in space? I guess that'd be more accurate. And so they decide, you know what? 20 years have passed. We don't know why this thing is suddenly here, but we're gonna go have a look because you know what? This could be the salvage dream that we need. So they're gonna do it, except of course when they get there things do not go well. I'm very excited about it. We have red bloody writing that says help and I see you on the back. I'm expecting some creepiness. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good time. I do have an ebook that I'm currently in the middle of reading, which is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by, is it Benjamin Stevenson? This one I'm up to chapter 19, so I'm just over halfway through. I'm really enjoying this book. It is a murder mystery, the second book in a murder mystery series. We're following our main character Ernest again, and somehow he's got caught up in yet another string of murders, but this time it's on a train that's in the middle of Australia, in the middle of the desert, so it's very secluded, and we have a bunch of mystery authors, and of course they're all like, well, we know how to solve this. And you're like, mate, you write novels. That's not actually the same, but they're gonna give it a good go anyway. And it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy the writing style. It's very much talking to you. It's very inclusive with the writing style, which I really enjoyed about the first book, and I'm enjoying it about this second book. So yeah, it's a good fun time. However, there is one other ebook I would like to try squeeze in this week. I don't honestly know if I'm going to be able to do both, but this ebook is Jan's book club pick for the month, which I really want to actually read because I don't always get to read them, but this, I mean, it's perfect for spooky season. It is a book by Darcy Coates. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it up. It is The Haunting of Lee Harker. Now, I do not know anything about this. I've read one Darcy Coates book before, which was From Below, which I did really enjoy, and I did say I want to read more Darcy Coates book. I mean, I haven't done it. I definitely want to. I read my first one earlier this year, so yeah, when this one came up as Jan's book club pick for October, I'm like, I really want a chance to read this, and I've got to try and fit it in this week because from next week I'll be starting the ebooks for my new cozy releases vlog. Hopefully I can get 2 ebooks finished this week and also read Dead Silence. We're gonna see. Hopefully it all goes okay. Very excited for this book. I think it's gonna be quite an easy read. Like, the text seems really readable. It's not that long a book. I think it's just 339 pages long. So it's a nice quick read. So hopefully I can make good progress with this. Maybe even pick up another physical book. I guess we're gonna find out how this week goes. But yeah, that is what we're doing this week. I hope you're all doing really well. Let me know what you've been reading in this spooky season. I have been loving it. I love getting into the darker, horror, creepier reads in October. It's always my favorite thing to do. I'm having a whale of a time, but I am really hungry, so I'm going to start cooking. We need to get some editing done, and then we're gonna settle in and start this. And hopefully I don't get too creeped out before bed. Just figured, like, I'm planning to read this of an evening time, and I scare oh so easily. oh so easily, it's actually ridiculous. So hopefully I don't get too freaked out before bed. I think if I do start getting too freaked out, then I'll switch to the cozy book that I've got on the go for the cozy new releases vlog that's actually due out. Ooh, it would have been before this video. So I probably will read that just before I go to bed so I can actually sleep, because I am a certified scaredy cat. As much as I love a good spooky book. Don't ask me why I do it to myself, I actually don't know. But yes, I hope you're all doing well. Let's go make some food. You'll have to ignore my very windswept appearance. It has been very windy and rainy here in London the last couple of days, and you know, as someone that works outside, you get caught in it. What can you do? I don't actually mind it. I kind of like this sort of weather because it's just like perfect reading weather. As much as I am at work, it's still, the thought is there, you know? I have updates, reading updates. Of course, that's why I'm here, why I'm doing this. I have actually tried to do this update a few times and I'm just kind of like rambling about everything and not making much sense. So we're just gonna roll with it and hopefully I can edit this into coherence. If not, good luck. And thank you for persevering. But okay, the book I finished today on my lunch break is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect, and I had so much fun with this. So the murder mystery aspect of this, normally I am an avid person that tries to solve a good murder mystery. Like, it's what I love to do, especially in a physical format. I love to get my tabs, I like to mark up the clues, my suspects and different things, and sometimes I even get pen and paper as well to really get into the nitty-gritty of it all. However, with an ebook, I don't tend to do that. So normally I'm more of like a passive reader rather than an active investigator. But I still tend to have an idea of who it could possibly be. And yeah, I had no clue. Yet again, I have had no clue. And that's even with the half chapters. So you will get points where it goes like 11.5 and it will recap different things. It even gives you a clue and being like, the person it is, I will have mentioned this many times. And it even gives you a tally of all the characters and how many times they've been mentioned. And yeah, I still completely got it wrong. Like 100% completely got it wrong. I loved it. It was so good. And even though with an ebook I'm not like actively investigating, I still tend to have an idea of who I think it could possibly be. And the person that I thought it could possibly be, yeah, that was a no-go. I loved all the twists and turns in this, and I loved how all the little things, like every little thing had a meaning in this book and had a point to the overall plot, which I loved. I really, really appreciate that in a book where the author makes everything meaningful. I just think it's fantastic. So yeah, I really, really am pleased with that. Really enjoyed all the twists and turns. I really enjoyed the reveals and the way it was all done. It was also kind of tongue-in-cheek in a way and kind of like, yes, these are the common tropes and things, and yes, this is what I'm doing, but because you've got a bunch of writers that are in the mystery, it really just worked as like a Mickey take, but being really self-aware, and I enjoyed it. I had so much fun with this book. I'm really, really pleased that I've read it. I really am looking forward to, I know there's a Christmas special one coming out. Really looking forward to reading that. I think it's going to be great. And just seeing what else Benjamin Stevenson puts out, whether it's going to be more books in this murder mystery series or something different, like I'm not sure, but I'm having a lot of fun with these. So yeah, really, really pleased that I finished this today. It was very entertaining and definitely did take me by surprise, which I always love. Like, honestly, it's one of those things, like, I would love to be able to actually like solve things, and sometimes I do. At the same time, I love the surprises, especially when everything slots together so well. Like, it's just it's so good. Let's move on to Dead Silence. I have read a good chunk of this, actually. I'm quite pleased how much I've read. I'm up to chapter 14, page 137, and I'm enjoying this one. It is quite creepy and eerie, which I really like. It's definitely getting darker, which I appreciate. We also have two timelines going on. So we start off the book with Claire, who has come back from what has happened, and she is being kept in this tower. It's kind of like this facility where problematic people are kept, basically, is from what I'm gleaning from this. And she is being held there, and she has now got two people coming to find out what actually happened on this ship, the Aurora, because they don't believe her. They think she's lying, that she's hallucinating, that the events that happened didn't happen the way she says it happened. And she's just like, look, you just need to decide whether you think I'm crazy, whether you think I'm lying or not, but this is what happened. And then we get the past timeline, what's actually going on. I really like it. We've met all the different members of the crew, so it's in this tiny little crew. There's only, is it 5 members? You have Claire, you have this really annoying, arrogant arsehole of a man. They all go by surnames, and I think his one is Voya. I can never remember names. I'm really not good at remembering names, even when I've read them. Oh no, Vola, not Voya. We have Lords, who is a lovely, sweet, innocent bean of a person. We have Niles, but he's very techie, bit reclusive, likes to talk through technology rather than face-to-face interactions. And we have Kane, who is the medic on board. But they're all there under Claire. She is the team leader of the operation, and they find this distress call for a ship that is, well, everybody thought was just missing. It's been missing for the last 20 years. And they go on board, they go to investigate, and things are getting weird, it's getting creepy. They're trying to find out what actually happened, and it seems that whatever happened, something very violent took place. And yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. We know that Claire is the only one that makes it out alive, because that's literally given to us in the first chapter. I'm really enjoying it because you do get a lot of like, this is what's going to happen to each of the characters, but it's finding out the why does this happen? How does it actually happen? Like, that is something that I really like. And just like the tension is good. We also have something from Claire's past that's playing big impact within what's happening now, because it's kind of like a triggering event to what happened in her past, which is really intriguing. Like, there's a lot that's going on. I will say this writing style is not the best, like in terms of like flowery and purple prosy. Like, it's a little bit repetitive at times in its descriptions, but it's a very easy writing style to read, so that's quite good, especially after my late shifts. Like, I don't need to concentrate, I guess is what I'm saying. It's very easy to read. And the characters, apart from Claire, like, they do feel a bit two-dimensional. Like, it very much is. Like, the one sentence descriptions I gave of these characters is what you get from them. Like, Lords is the young, innocent, naive person, and everything about her character, the things that she says, just reinforces that. And Kane is the medic who really wants to help Claire and be there for her, and again, he doesn't really seem to evolve past that. So each of the characters, they have what they're meant to be, and that's it. They don't feel that fully fleshed out. Claire feels more fully fleshed out, but that's because I think you get it from her perspective. You also know more about her past and the things that are happening. I do think it makes sense for the other characters to feel a bit two-dimensional, because Claire likes to keep everybody at a distance, and she has a reason for doing this, but she does not like to connect to people. She doesn't like to care about people. She is very much a person that keeps to herself and keeps herself separate, even with a crew that go on these really long missions, and you know, they're literally just stuck in this confined space for like months on end. But her crew rotates. Once she comes back, she gets a new mission, she gets a new crew to come with her. She does not form attachments. So having characters that feel two-dimensional kind of works from Claire's point of view, because she doesn't know them deeper than that, or doesn't want them to know that she knows them deeper than that, if that makes sense. So yeah, so far I'm liking it. It's a quick, easy read. It is a bit creepy. I'm making sure I don't read it too late at night, because we all know I'm a scaredy cat around here, as I've already mentioned. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a good book. easy. It doesn't take too much focus, which I'm liking. And at the minute, I'm averaging about 60-ish pages a day, which is nice. So definitely think I can get this finished up easily this week. However, I did forget to mention one day from this vlog will not be included. No, wait, that's the wrong way round. One day from this week will not be included in this vlog, and that is because it is the relax and readathon day. So it'll be the 24-hour readathon. So on the Saturday, so towards the end of this vlog, there will be a day where I read something completely different, go about having a nice chill reading day. That will be in a separate video that comes out after this one, so you won't get that. So technically I've got 6 days rather than 7 days of reading in this vlog, but we'll see what we get up to, what I get read. But yeah, I think that's everything I needed to mention. Talked about the fact that I finished a book, talked about the fact that I'm enjoying Dead Silence. It's good, it's fun. I'm liking the horror and the feeling like there's this presence, which I really like. That's kind of it. I do want to move on, as I said, to the Darcy Coates book, which I might still do. I just don't know how much of it I'm going to get read this week, because I've only got 2 more days at work. In my lunch breaks, I haven't been able to read that much during my lunch breaks because it's been a bit busy lately. So we'll see how much I manage to get read. I might do it. Well, I think it would just depend on tomorrow. See whether I get a chance to read on my lunch break or not. I would really like to read it. I do really want to, and I think it would go well for this week and just like the reads in general. Like this month, I'm keeping everything pretty spooky apart from one book in my TBR. Everything else is pretty like spooky creepy, which I'm very happy with. I am breaking it up with my cozy reading vlog, which is needed and I love it. But yeah, I just think it would fit the vibes really well, and it would be nice to have at least like, I don't know, we'll see. Right, I am just rambling. Did I even make sense? Did there any of that make sense? I don't even know. But okay, you persevered. Well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back, because I don't even know if what I said made sense. But I'm gonna go. I will catch up with you when I've read some more, obviously, as always. And yeah, for now I've got editing and bits to do. So, oh wait, I did talk, no, I didn't talk about it. Pastries, pasties that I made. I enjoyed those. They're so much fun. I'm getting better on the size of them. The first time I did them, they were huge. They were absolutely huge. This time, we're getting better with the sizing, which is good. I think they could still be a little bit smaller. That was good. I enjoyed it. Nice, quick, easy meal to do. And now that's literally everything. And to be fair, you didn't even need to know that. I'm just waffling for the sake of waffling. But I do actually have a lot to do. I just procrastinate. Okay, yeah. I need to go do the washing. I need to do the edit. I just need to do stuff. So, let's go. Afternoon. I am in a really good mood. One, we have finished the work week, so now I have my 5 days off and I cannot be more excited for it, because tomorrow I'm meeting my mum for lunch. Saturday, as I already mentioned, is the cozy readathon day, which I'm so excited for, and then I pretty much have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to just chill, and it's gonna be so good. Also, I finished a book, which is amazing. Dead Silence. And can I just say, this creeped me out, but I also really loved it. I loved how the fact that halfway through this book, things changed. It changed the direction that I thought it was going, and I really liked that. I'm not gonna get into any spoilers as to why it changed. It was unexpected. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was just took a different turn. And I really liked that. I will say, once I knew what was going on, I didn't find it anywhere near as scary. For me, it's always the unknown. Once I know something and I can understand it, I'm then not as scared as I would normally would be. But it's that unknown, because it could be anything. It could be anything, and my imagination's so vivid and it runs wild. But I really liked it. I actually thought the reasoning behind what was happening was actually really clever. I really liked it. I thought it fit it really well. I just think actually it worked, and I feel like statement of what the book was making about how you have these big corporations and they just use and abuse people, really grind them out, because to them everybody is just a number and they're just trying to generate revenue. I thought was quite a good commentary to make. But yeah, this was good. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed seeing Claire's perspective and just seeing her slowly unraveling as a mixture of what's going on now as also what she went through when she was younger. I just thought it was good. I liked this book. It was very entertaining and it just kept me hooked because of the fact that it went in such a different way, which I really enjoyed. And like I say, the scariest moment was probably at the last point where I updated, where I definitely did need to put it down, change gears completely into something else so that I could sleep at night because scaredy cat. But after that point, I think the actual horror levels of this book kind of like even out, and then for me drop off a little bit as we understand what's going on. But I still really liked those decisions. I still liked what was causing it all. I found it very interesting and intriguing. This was good. This was surprisingly good. I thought it was a fun time, but I am feeling the need to change up pace, have something that's a little bit lighter and fun, because as much as I can say, yes, I can read horror and I can appreciate horror books, it's not something I want to be reading back to back consistently, so it's time to change up. And I'm very excited because it's time for my reread. That's what I've decided to do, because I've got this evening, Friday and Sunday, so I can read this book over those few days. And because it's a reread, I know it's going to be an easy, quick read. And this is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana, which I love. I first read this as an ebook, loved it so much that when I saw the physical copy, I decided to get a copy, and I cannot wait to read this and potentially annotate it as well. I'm really, really looking forward to reading this one, because when I first read this, I honestly felt so seen. It ended up having a very special place in my heart for this book. Like, I really couldn't explain why, so I'm very excited to reread it so I can actually really understand what it was and get those emotions back, because there was just something about our main character and the way she saw things and the way she had connections and stuff that I just really felt very seen. I feel like this is the perfect thing to like switch up, change gears, change the genre up, because I've already had something that was very quite dark and scary and freaky, and now let's go into something lighter, especially because for the 24-hour relax and readathon I am reading another horror book, so it'll be nice to have this one that's kind of breaking that up so I'm not reading too many in a row. Very excited. Oh, I'm really am excited to reread this one. I think it's going to be a fantastic time. For those of you that don't know though, this book is about Mika, and Mika is a witch and she feels very lonely because the witches, they're meant to be kept very separate from one another. They're not allowed to congregate too often or for too long. That means that magic can be a little bit more unpredictable, and that's how non-magic people find out about them, which is something they desperately don't want because of, well, the fallout of when, like the Salem witch trials and stuff, you know, it's bad. So they kept very separate and secretive, and Mika doesn't really like it, but she has to go along with it. But she also makes YouTube videos about being a witch, because let's face it, no one believes what they see on YouTube, so she figures it is the perfect ruse. Until one day she gets an email that goes, "Can you help train 3 young witches?" Mika doesn't know whether to believe this or not, but she's ready for a move anyway, so she's like, you know what, it can't hurt to find out and just see, and if I don't like it, I can drive away, it's not a problem. So she arrives at this house, and it turns out that yes, there are 3 young witches in dire need of somebody to help them control their powers, learn about them, and, you know, just teach them how to be a witch. And Mika at first is really thrown off because she's like, no, you can't have this many witches together, it goes against everything I've been taught. And of course it goes on from there. We also have a grumpy librarian, which, I love it so much, the little romance that's blossoming between the two. You have found family. It is just a beautiful book. I really loved it when I first read it, so yeah, very excited to reread this one and get back to the characters. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm also, in a change from Halloween theme, I'm going to be making some mince pies because I love mince pies, and mince pies, yes, are technically a Christmas thing here in the UK, which I found out last year. Mince pies aren't a worldwide thing. I really thought they were because, you know, they're just a staple of Christmas, but they're not. But I have the mincemeat jar thing to make mince pies with. I also have some puff pastry, and well, it's cold outside, so I'm justifying it as I can have mince pies now because I love them. I really love them, and honestly, a cold dreary day, having a mince pie with a hot drink, my favourite thing. So I'm going to make some mince pies. I'm going to read this book. We're just going to start enjoying the fact that I finished my work week and I've got the time off to relax now. So I'm having a wonderful time. I hope you all are as well. And I will catch up with you when I've started this, and we'll see if I decide to annotate it. I would like to, so I might end up doing that. I think I'll read the first couple of chapters first to decide if I'm going to, and then go from there maybe. We'll see. I will catch up with you soon. Good morning. I have just wrapped up my readathon, which was really fun. I'm really pleased with everything that I read and did yesterday. It was really good. That video will be coming out after this one, so hopefully you like it. But for this vlog, I last left you when I was going to meet my mum for lunch, and it wasn't just my mum. The rest of the family came, which was absolutely lovely. Had a lovely lunch, and then we did a little bit of shopping, and I did pick myself up a couple of things. My mum showed me this new like stationery slash odds and ends shop that opened up, which I just fell in love with. I got these Christmas stickers ready for my December journal setup, which I'm very excited about. And I also picked up this really cute fluffy notebook. I really like it. It's got really nice green pages on the inside. They're all lined. This is super soft, and it has a little pom-pom bookmark in it, which I just love. So I think I'm gonna use this as my next like journal. I still do, I haven't talked about that in ages actually. I do still journal, not every single day anymore, but just like writing down different thoughts and things that are on my mind, and I tend to do it every 2-3 days or so. But I really do enjoy it, and I am coming to the end of my last like current journal, so I definitely needed a new one, and this is just so soft and fluffy, so I just thought why not. So I'm very happy with that. But yeah, it was a lovely day, really enjoyed it, and yesterday was super relaxed, which that was really good. I really enjoyed that. But it's time to talk about this book because I've almost finished it. I think I've got about 100 odd pages left to go of this book, or is it 100 and something? 114 pages left to go of this book, and I'm loving it. I'm up to chapter 18, page 204, and this is just everything I remember it being, which is great because sometimes it can be like that when you read a book, you're really connected to it, you really love it, and then you do a reread. There's always that little bit of hesitation that what if it's not as good as it was the first time you read it. Thankfully, this one is keeping up. I haven't decided to annotate it, like definitely I could, but just decided not to. But I'm really enjoying this. So we are following Mika Moon, as I already said, and Mika, she's very lonely. She's always felt very cut off from things, has felt like she can't really establish roots anywhere. She's constantly moving about every 6 months. She doesn't really have any deep connections with anyone, doesn't have any like friendships and things, has always been warned, you know, she's a witch, you have to be careful about these things. So she's always hidden herself, and how, you know, lonely that really is. And then she gets invited to this house with these 3 young witches, and it starts showing her how life could be, how she doesn't have to be so scared of setting down roots, how she can allow people in and, you know, just kind of see things for herself rather than always being so scared to make those connections. And it's just such a heartwarming tale. I really enjoy it. I also love our librarian. I mean, Jamie is I mean, he's definitely a grumpy person, but he's got a bit of a history to him, which you haven't learned just yet, but you do learn towards the end of this book, and the reason why he keeps himself the way he does. He is very protective of the 3 young girls, and he's always trying to look out for them and do the best for these girls, which is just absolutely lovely. And then of course we have Ian and Ken, and Ian is so flamboyant and lovely. Like, he's an amazing person. I absolutely love him. Ken is a lot more like steady. He'll think things through. He's the gardener. Like, he's a lot more placid and calm. And then we have, I think, is it Lucy, I want to say? There's another person that in this house that's helping to raise these girls, and she looks after the inside of the house and keeping everything up and tidy and stuff like this. And over it all we have the witch that got these 3 girls together, but who again has just been very absent, who hasn't really taken the time to look after these girls, rescuing them, yes, but then has kind of deposited them in this house and just kind of left the others to get on with looking after these girls. But she's just like this background figure, and then you do have this plot line of why they needed Mika's help in the first place going on in the background. And I also really like how Mika's trying to give the girls a life that she never had, give them the answers to things that she never had when growing up. And like, there's this little trip to a bookstore, and it means such a big thing for one of the girls, and it's so heartwarming and cute, but it also really goes to show how they haven't been able to live their life because of the worry of their magic and what if somebody sees something. And Mika really connects to that, and she's really like, no, this is what I'm here for, let's give these girls a life. And it's so lovely. It's just such a heartwarming, cute, cozy read that I'm really enjoying. So I do need to actually finish this today because I want to get started on my next vlog, which is the themed weekly reading vlog, which is the Frankenstein vlog. I'm really excited to do that, so I definitely need to get this one finished today so that I can do that. But literally all today is editing and reading. That is the plan. That is all I plan on doing today. I actually need to decide what video I edit. Technically, if this one's coming out first, I should work on this vlog first and then do the readathon that I filmed yesterday, edit that maybe tomorrow or something. That would make a lot more sense in doing it in the order that is due to go out. Yeah, that would make more sense. So we're going to work on that. We're going to edit this vlog, we're going to read this book, and we're just going to have another really relaxing, chilled day. So I better get on with all of that. I do have all day, so I'm pretty sure I will get it all done. Honestly, I mentioned this yesterday, so you'll hear me talking about it in the next video, but I am kind of in the mood to draw, but I also kind of want to play Animal Crossing. So I don't know, I'm in between moods of what I want to do, but we'll see. We'll see if I actually get a chance to do everything, because like I say, finishing the book and editing this video is the main priority, and we'll just see if I get a chance to do anything else. I always say I want to do all my other hobbies because I have so many hobbies that I enjoy, and then I end up getting so distracted and I'll just focus on like YouTube work or reading a book or doing something else, because I'm always aware of how many books I need to read and to get done for the different videos. And don't get me wrong, it's my choice. I absolutely love the different videos that I'm doing, and I love the different books that I'm reading and stuff, but it always just makes me aware where I'm like, oh, I have a spare 30 minutes and I finished the book for my weekly vlog. Oh, that means I can use that 30 minutes on a different vlog, or I can do it like this. And instead of going, you know what, I've got 30 minutes spare, let's go enjoy another hobby. It's definitely something I really want to work on going into the new year. And I'm also making a few changes on YouTube with videos that I put out. So like, I already mentioned this on Discord, and I'm not sure if I've already mentioned it here on YouTube. I can't remember, but I'm not doing the anticipate releases videos anymore. They take a lot of work in terms of research, trying to find the different releases, see whether I'm interested in them and not, etc. And then actually filming it and editing it all and stuff. And while yes, it's only a video I do every 2 months, it's still just a lot of work, and it's my least favorite video to do. So I've decided to cut that video out, which also frees up a video slot so that things like my cozy reading vlogs can go into that slot rather than feeling like I need to do so many extra videos. And I am also debating about my reset videos, about how I want to do those. I think I'll probably think about it more, but I'm thinking maybe making November my last reset video and then changing it up slightly, because the things in my reset video, they're all things I can put into other videos. So like talking about the themed vlogs and my ebook TBR and things like that, that can just go into my TBR videos for the month. And then things like the reading journal setup, that can go into a weekly reading vlog. And my favorite section, I can do that in the weekly reading vlog for the last week of the month. So I am thinking about doing that, because again, that would free me up a whole extra video every single month, giving me more time to put into editing these videos, making them a bit better, and also giving myself time to do other hobbies. So it is something I am contemplating just kind of cutting out. I'm probably going to talk about it on Discord, maybe do that today, and just say, you know, how does everyone feel about it? Do you mind if I try it for a few months? Because it may be something that I just do for a few months, allow myself to like have that bit of freedom and then bring back. I don't know, but I'm feeling like I need to like cut back a little bit so that I can spend more time on the videos that I really am excited for, which is my vlogs. I love doing vlog style videos. I love the 24-hour readathon videos. I love my cozy new releases vlogs. I love these weekly vlogs. Like, they're the ones that I love doing the most, alongside book recommendations. I really want to focus on, I have done more of them this year, which I really have liked, but also just doing more of them in general, and maybe doing some like specific ones where I put the question out to you and be like, what book recommendations do you want, and do some of those videos. And I don't know, I just kind of want to change up a little bit and cut out the videos that I'm not having as much fun with, which is the anticipated releases and the reset videos. The reset video, just because they feel the same all the time and I'm starting to get a little bit bored of them, and that would be really nice to add into my vlogs, so I've got a bit more in my vlogs to actually do. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see how it goes. I'm probably going to trial it for like 3 months and see how I feel, and if I really like it, we'll keep it that way. And that's what I like about the end of the year though. Like, I really enjoy looking back on the year, thinking about the different things that I've done, the things that I've really loved, the things that I haven't enjoyed, and the things that I want to like work on and improve, and just trying to change up things so it all works. I've also got like projects in the background that I really want to start. I've got things set up, but I really want to be able to actually get it off the ground, which will be really good, which I haven't been spoken about because I just don't know if I'm going to get the chance to have it all happen, which again, cutting back on a couple videos here and there will help me with that. Like, it's not going to change. You're still going to get 2 videos a week minimum. The content will be content I'm happier making, and by cutting out like those few videos, which is 18 videos a year, just gives me that little bit more time. Okay, well that was a really rambly update, and I do actually need to get on and start editing, so let's go and do that, and I will catch up with you when I have finished the very secret society of irregular witches, which I am really enjoying. I had a really nice time yesterday. I literally just spent the day editing and reading, and that's all I did, and I got quite a good amount edited. I'm really happy with that. I've got a couple things to finish, but honestly it's probably going to take me an hour or so to finish them, which is great. That's exactly where I wanted to be, and I am so happy with the day. Like, I just chilled. In the evening I decided to watch The Addams Family, which is perfect for this time of year. You cannot go wrong. Like, I love that film. It is a classic, and oh yeah, it was great. The vibes were vibing and I had an amazing time. I did also finish The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and I really did enjoy my reread of this. It is just so cozy and heartwarming and yet witchy, and it is perfect for the autumn time in my opinion. I mean, even going into winter, because some of this does take place across like the run-up to Christmas time, so that also works. I just love this book. I think it is fantastic. I really love seeing Mika. It's not even developing, it's more like opening up and not being so scared to let people in, and having the fear of what's happened in her past keep happening now, and to just try and trust that it's not going to happen again, and as scary and daunting as that can be, but to do it anyway, and I loved it. There are some points where I wish I had been annotating, honestly, because I ended up dog-earing the bottom of the pages just because of how much certain quotes just really, like, oh, I love them. Like, there's a lot in this book about the difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice is kind of like the appearance of it. So you're being nice when people are looking, when you're worried about what people think and stuff, and so it's all very surface level. Whereas being kind, that's actually caring and doing things because you care and love the other and you really want them to be happy, and that difference, and how you can be nice and kind, or you can be nice without being kind, or kind without being nice. So for example, Jamie in here is not very nice, but he is very kind, because he'll be blunt, like he'll be like, oh my god, you look awful today. So it's not nice, but he does care about you. He would then go sit down, I'll do you a cup of tea, just relax, take the weight off your feet, you know? And so he's kind but not nice, and I really like that. I like how, I don't know why, but for me that just made a lot of sense. I feel like it's like that for a lot of people. It's like you can have people who are nice in appearance, but actually it's just surface level. They're not actually kind. They're going to stop being nice the minute they stop getting what they want, and you know how people like that in your life, it's just too toxic to have around. I love this book. I love those sort of discussions. I love the fact that Mika finds her family, finds her home, when all she's ever wanted is to belong somewhere. I adore this book, and I love all the witchiness. Like, there's so much witchiness, there's so many spells that are being done, potions that are being made, and I love it. I love the vibes, I love everything about this. So yeah, this was great. I'm really pleased that I enjoyed it just as much on reread. Again, this will be a book that I keep rereading so that I can annotate it. I think if not every year, then definitely every other year would be lovely. And yes, definitely next time annotate this, because there's just so many beautiful quotes that I really resonate with. So fantastic. I'm so pleased I read it, and I do think it was the perfect mood change from Dead Silence, which is obviously what I started the week off with, and I did really enjoy this. I thought it was really quite creepy. There definitely was a point where I was just like, oh god, this is so creepy and gruesome, and because you don't really know what's going on, that always really gets to me. Like I say, once I understood what was happening, the horror factor for me definitely lessened, but that's what I expect for me. I loved the twists and turns that this book took. I like how halfway through this did do a pivot to where I thought it was going, and I thought that worked really well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I thought it was a really good read, but definitely I'm pleased that I paired it with this cozy witchy fantasy. Is it a fantasy? Urban fantasy? Because it all does take place in modern world. It's not like a fantasy world. It's a witchy time. It's fantastic, but I feel like pairing these together was great, because too much of this sort of darker horror, for me, darker horror, is a bit overwhelming and I kind of get a bit burnt out. So having it broken up with this worked really well, especially then because we did have the Relax and Readathon, which I loved, but that was also quite a gothic book that I was reading for that. So definitely it was great to read this, read 2/3 of this, then have my gothic read, and then finish this up. Like, it worked really well. I'm really pleased with the reading this week, and yeah, I can't believe it. 2 books off my October TBR. It's been a fantastic reading week, and yes, they're both so different, but they were just exactly what I was in the mood for. So I'm very happy with these. And then of course I do have to talk about the fact that I did finish an ebook, Everyone on This Train is a Suspect, and I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was so much fun. I do enjoy this writing style. I like how it's quite interactive, how Ernest takes the time to stop the narrative to then go, right, let's recap where we're at and go over everything and all the evidence and things. And I know, I really like it. It's fun. It's got that slightly different quirk about it, which I like. I think each cozy mysteries, to me this is very cozy, they all need to have their own slight different quirk, whether it's specific characters, or in this case where they doing something where Ernest is like, hey, clearly I've survived because I'm writing this account, and he's really talking to you, really involving you in the process. And he even makes comments about, damn, I was stupid right here, I shouldn't have done this, I'm being honest with you and this is exactly what happened. And so I really like that, because he's writing the story after the events, he can comment on his behaviour, on others' behaviour, on where he made mistakes and took the wrong turn and things like this. So I actually really like that. I think it's really fun, really interactive, and yeah, I just really enjoyed this. Again, did not soul solve this. With an ebook, I don't tend to try and actively solve it. I'm more just passively reading it, but it was still really, really fun. And even the person that I thought, oh, I wonder if it's them, was definitely not them. But yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed this one. Really looking forward to whatever else is put out. I know we've got the Christmas one, as I've already mentioned, but yeah, I just thought this was great. And again, pairing this with some of the more gothic horror leaning stuff that I've been reading was really nice, because it gives me that little bit of lightness. Because as much as I do actually like horror books, I do find that too many in a row, it's just a bit much. Like, I find that with most genres actually lately, is if I'm reading too many of the same genre back to back, that I get a little bit burnt out, and so then I won't touch the genre for ages, like months. It's why I haven't read any dark academia really this year. I think, have I read any? I think I've read like 1 or 2, whereas last year I was reading loads of it, because I do love it as a genre. It's just I burnt myself out. Cozy mysteries and cozy, just like cozy books in general, I find I can read a lot of them and not get burnt out. At least that's what's happening at the minute. And so using those to break up some of the other genres, whether it's horror or fantasy or anything like that, basically anything that's not a cozy book at the minute, is working really, really well. So I'm really pleased that I was able to have this cozy murder mystery going across the last 2 weekly reading vlogs, and then have my cozy witchy read to break up the horror that I've been reading this month. Yeah, it's good, is basically what I'm saying. That was a really long tangent, which I know you didn't need. I apologise, I ramble. We know this about me if you've been here a little while, but okay. It is time to finish this vlog. I had a really good time. I'm very excited for next week's vlog, because it's all about Frankenstein, which is the perfect vibes for October. I really can't wait. Thank you so much for watching. You'll have to let me know, have you read either of these books? What have you been reading currently? Is there something, like, do you prefer reading horror books in October, or are you just not really a horror person? You'll have to let me know. But yeah, I think that's everything. So if you've made it this far, or you just don't know what to comment, then let's leave a rocket ship or just some sort of space emoji for dead silence. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you, so genuinely thank you. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribing and commenting. Those 3 things really help this channel out. My social media links and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.